Right, this is Hero Webcomics here, wanting to, having to tell, making a video I really do not want to make. Take two. Yeah. Last one was, basically, I apparently have a lot to say, and I went a little long. Also, right now, I cough less when I'm in this with this mask on than I would without if I take it off, which is very interesting because my main character, Aisling, has the same issue. So that's a little interesting, isn't it? But anyway, we'll talk about him and his friends, him and his family, friends and family later. Okay, because that's not what the video is really about. What the video is about is the fact that all hate mail has been canceled. I had to come out and say it. Hate mail has been canceled. Not like canceled, like I'm not gonna watch it. No, but no, canceled as in I have deleted all hate mail videos that involve conversations with people, with showing conversations with people. No screen caps anymore. And the show basically is not going to be nearly. No, I'm not going to do the show anymore. Really, though I did like, though I did like, just talking about stuff. I wanted to have evidence to show that why I believe what I believed, and why these people, and why I'm fighting against what these people are saying, because there are people there going like, no one, I was saying a person born with testicles can never be female, a person born with ovaries can never be male, and they were saying no one said, no transgender person is trying to change from biologically male to biologically female, and I was like, well, yeah, here's a screenshot. Yeah, here's a screenshot. Here's a video where I talked to someone who said, "Oh yeah, listen, I may be a girl, have a girl name now, but when I get my real body, I'm gonna get a boy's name." I'm like, seems like she's trying to change biological sex. I'm like, yeah. So I was like, boom, yeah, gotcha. And unfortunately, now that's gone. But thankfully, because that could be evidence used against me. Apparently, my brother told me about that stuff. That stuff actually does happen. But here's the deal. Here's how it started. Um, Basically, one night I was basically hanging out in my lying on my covers, trying to just draw stuff and listen to awesome videos I'm gonna make that I cannot put on YouTube because it's copyrighted music and copyrighted video. But I will have reactions to them to make fun of YouTube's policies. Yeah, so there's that. But anyway, so what happened was YouTube. No, that's not YouTube. Basically, I saw my cat Topanga. Okay, she was lying on my covers, and she was on her back, and she was zonked out. The girl was zonked out, and just like, belly showing her, so her little paws are up or whatever like that, And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such an awesome photo opportunity. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I better get a photo. So I took my phone, a new phone called a Moto G Fast. Not sponsored, but it is an amazing phone. I'm definitely gonna get more because they're just awesome. Except for of course when they're doing video. Apparently, they have issues with video. They're not exactly the best at say doing long videos that take you 15, 20 minutes or more, whatever. I don't know what's going on with it, but whatever the case is, I have this one here, this little BlackBerry here. So it's not as high quality, but it works. It'll do the job. But anyway, so I took a picture of that girl, showing off her little belly, showing off her belly and everything. It was really nice, and it looked super cute. And then the next day I put it on Facebook, and this is a new phone. So I was like, okay, new phone. Might as well just press the, basically allow Facebook to use photos and video and audio. Okay, and now I finally get to my gallery and I tap the picture. I was like, I tap the picture, and it's like, yeah, tap the picture. Type it, say next. It goes to say something about the post. Silly cat. Said post. Put post on. Put the post on. And what's going to go on work on my project? My brother comes out of the other room, because he's trying to get ready for work, and he's like, yeah, dude, that last post of yours was a little weird. And I'm like, what? Why? It's just Topanga. Lying on her back, like, ugh. And then I see that not only did I post a picture of my cat, I posted a screenshot of me debating against someone on transgender issues. And now here's the deal. I am not ashamed of being against the transgender and homosexual lifestyles because according to the Bible, according to what I believe in, those lifestyles are sinful, are against, are sin, are basically temptations to sin. They are dangerous. They have gotten people killed over things that they shouldn't be getting killed over. The homosexual lifestyle, of course, is I want this. Like, you're not allowed to have that according to the Bible. Whatever, I'm going to get it. The transgender lifestyle is also I want this. You're not allowed to get it. But then there's also, I'm going to pretend I have it. I'm going to lie about what I am. I'm going to hide what I am. Hide my body. I'm going to hide it. Make sure and try to pull the wool over people's eyes so they treat me like the way I want to be treated. Now, as a Christian, that is feels insulting. As a person of color, that feels insulting. So I'm like, no, I don't know. I gotta stay away from that. Because here's the deal. I've been wanting to say this for a while. Think of the suffrage movement. In the 1920s. Think of the civil rights movement in the 1960s. 60s. It was 60s. The answer was not to look like the people, try to look like the people that would be treated better. The answer was to say, hey, people, you should treat me better, the same as you treat other people, because I'm human too. That's what it should be. But, basically, the people are like going, well, but, thinking this, they need to hide and lie and deceive themselves. These see people to try and get over on them, and hopefully be treated better. And I'm like, there's one girl, person with ovaries, who made a comic on DeviantArt. I'm not going to show the comic because I'm done with this whole showing evidence that could get me in trouble because I'm basically taking something that someone else made and showing it to you for evidence. And they're like, they could say like, hey, you're misusing, so you're defaming me, you're harassing me. That's a big one, harassing me. And basically, especially if they're underage. My brother told me, they had a long conversation about this stuff. So he and I and my mom do get along on a lot of subjects, and talk about what movies we want to watch and what. I kind of talk about what games I want to play. He kind of talks about what games I want to play. Not really into games, but he's more into music and movies, things like that. I'm into music. I'm into games and movies as well, but we're all different. My mom kind of is into some few things or so that I kind of like, but definitely we're all different. But one thing that both he and she agree on is that I should definitely be very careful about what I say and things like that. And he was saying, look, you got to be very careful about this, because if you use, you basically talk to someone and they posted comments on somebody onto a post that they made, like a video they made, talking about how they're happy because they're transitioning or whatever, and they they or someone else asks you, says stop commenting, stop commenting on this, and you keep doing it, that could be considered harassment, and you could get in trouble. And I'm like, okay, well, I was thinking maybe a little trouble, like someone could be like, oh, slap on the wrist, but no, saying loss of channel. I'm like, oh, okay, nope, that's not happening. And that's the worst, not the worst scenario. Another scenario is because of you saying, talking to somebody, you don't know how old they are. And there's like, he's saying, they could be underage. And you, as a person who's old, not underage, talking to them could basically, harassing them, quote unquote, could basically be seen as nasty, creepy and nasty. And basically, here's how this goes. They basically will be like, some old man is yelling, and I've been called that. Some old man is yelling at me, saying all kinds of nasty stuff to me about how my body is a good body, and nothing's wrong with it, and stuff like that, and because of stupidity and temptation of the dark side, that can actually cause problems for people. In my opinion, the way that kind of scenario is like if someone says, okay, here's what happened. I went to the army, okay, because I heard you could get college things. You could, you shoot guns and learn, stuff like that. It sounded like it's going to be fun. But then some old man keeps yelling at me, He's making me get up at like 5 a.m. and run around, the whole base, make me do, the whole base and whatnot. And he's telling, man, march and stuff like that. And move. He's like, move it. So like, what is that? So I quit. No. Is there any way I can sue this guy for yelling at me? Because that was horrible. He was like, did he? So the person could be like, did he hit you? Like, no. maybe do push-ups, give him 20 push-ups sometimes, but he didn't hit me. And I was like, oh, there's nothing we can do. It's his job to do that. Now, here's the deal. Yeah, it's not. It is, according to the Bible, I'm supposed to hold back those staggering towards slaughter, risk those being led away to death. But it's not one of those things that's like recognized as an official position, which is, of course, yeah, happens. But here's the deal. Still, I want to continue talking speaking out against these horrible lifestyles that have gotten people killed because the transgender lifestyle has gotten people killed because they say they can't live without transitioning, and they're basically like, yeah, I'm sad because I bleed once a month, and I'm like, why? Because I don't like it. But it's normal for people born with ovaries and uterus and a vagina. Like, well, I still don't like it. Me, if I take these hormones that'll poison my body, they'll stop it. Like, that's bad. I'm like, that's bad. That's dangerous. It's like, I don't care. I don't like this. I'm like, yeah. I'm sorry, but there are things out there you're not gonna like. And so here's the deal. Basically, you have the people saying, I don't like this stuff, that is normal stuff, and then you have them basically ticked off that anyone would dare challenge their belief that they have to do these things that will not change their biological sex, will not actually help them. It will only help them stay in their delusions. They basically will do that, and basically then you have, and basically also some of them are, of course, Karens and snowflakes and babies with beards and babies with boobs, okay, who basically are also, so they're basically super immature, not very ignorant, and just basically all emotion, and yeah, basically like if you think about things, if you basically saw a kid. If you're a parent and your kid is around 4 or 5 years old and they start flopping around on the ground and screaming their head off because they can't get that toy they want or whatever, what would a good parent do? A good parent would pick them up, take them someplace private, and at the very least yell at them and say, no, this is not how you're going to act. Right? This is not what you're going to do. Okay, you're not going to be doing that doing that anymore because that's not right. Well, my parents did that too, but a little bit differently. They had like a rhythm. You won't do that. That's what they would do to me and my brother and my sister. That's what they would do if we ever started flopping around the ground, screaming our head off. And after a few times of that, the temptation would be there. Like the temptation would be there to basically, that candy. Oh, I want it. I was like, you can't. We're not getting it. What? But and then I remember, the skin on my leg. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'd rather keep the skin on my legs. I'd rather keep that skin on my legs and my dad's belt on his waist instead of trying to flop around on the ground, scream my head off, hoping that I will basically embarrass them enough that they'll cave and get me that thing I want. No, it won't work. All it does is make me feel like Civil War era slave. You try to run away. No, doesn't work. So yeah. Enough of that. So basically, that's what basically helped people when they were young to learn. You cannot always get what you want. In fact, sometimes you got to live with things, not getting the thing you want. It's unpleasant, but it's the way it is in life. There's a generation, unfortunately, now who don't get that, who rejected those teachings and are still flopping on the ground, screaming their heads off, but not physically, not often, as often physically. Sometimes they do, and of course they got to call the police because they're way bigger than a kid is, But they're also flopping around on the ground, screaming their head off online to people, complaining that someone would ever say, something like that. Say that stuff. All right, I'll be right back. Check me out on YouTube and DVD. All right.